Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is my how to contour and highlight video. I'm super excited about this video because it's using my new Anastasia cream contour palette. I wanted to mention in the intro that I won't actually be doing a review in this video. I just focused on actually showing you how to contour and highlight. But that being said, I know that this is a new palette, and if you guys want an in-depth review on it, just leave it down in the comment section and I will be sure to do that for you. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to do cream and powder highlight and contouring. That's going to make your face last all day. And then I wanted to do just a quick reminder, my 1000 subscriber giveaway is going to be ending October 15th. So make sure that you are all entered in that. And if you want to see how to contour and highlight like a pro, then just keep watching. I was feeling a little bit unmotivated today. So Harley went and got me Starbucks. This is an upside down caramel macchiato. It's like my favorite drink ever. Okay, so let's get into the tutorial now, shall we? So as you probably already know, we're going to be using the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit today, and this is in the shade Fair. So I already have my foundation on, but that's the only thing I have on my face. I actually forgot primer today. So I literally have nothing else on my face. So today I'm going to show you guys how to cream contour and highlight, and then also powder highlight and contour on top of that. Some people like to just cream contour, some people like to just powder contour, and some people like to do both every day. I pretty much switch it up every single day. Sometimes I do cream, sometimes I do powder. But today, just for the purpose of the video, I'm going to be doing both for you guys, and I'm also going to teach you guys how to do the baking method, but we'll get to that a little later in the video. So the first thing I'm gonna do is highlight the center of my face, and I have been using the shade Soft Light right here. The difference between Soft Light and Fair over here is that Fair is pink toned, Soft Light is yellow toned, and Fair is like seriously the lightest concealer I have ever seen in my life. Right now I still have a pretty good tan from the summer, but I'm really excited for this concealer in particular for when I start getting fair again, because this is going to give me that highlighted effect even at my palest state. So yeah, I'm just going to take Soft Light, and the first brush I'm going to be using is just a normal concealer brush like this, and I'm gonna start with my under eyes. So when you are contouring and highlighting, the main thing you need to know is that the light colors go on areas that you want to accentuate or lift from the face, and you put all of your dark shades into the shadows of your face, so things that you want to look more sunken in. So this might look like a ton of concealer, but it's actually not. These concealers are pretty thick, but they actually don't provide too much coverage, if you know what I mean. Some cream concealers can be really thick and hard to blend. I don't find that at all with these. I actually have a really light layer on. So when you're highlighting, as you can see, I go in the famous upside down triangle shape. Just creates a lot more lift to your face and a lot more of a brightening effect than if you would just do like a half moon under your eye. And as you can see, I'm also bringing my concealer all the way up to my temples. And the reason why I do that is because once it's all blended out, it's going to create that natural lift of your face. So the next thing you want to highlight is the center of your forehead. So I just like to go in and either just create one line or just a few lines right here in the center. And then once you've done that, you want to bring it down the bridge of your nose. And I like to connect this because I like the space between my eyebrows to be really highlighted as well. Then you can go on your chin. So if you have a big chin or a protruding chin or anything like that, you don't want to highlight here. You want to actually contour here to make it sunken in. Because remember, anything that you highlight like this is going to pop out first, and that's the first thing that people are going to see when they look at you. So if you already think your chin is protruding, you definitely don't want to highlight it. Same as your forehead. If your purpose is to make your forehead look flatter, some people have a stronger bone here. If you have that, you don't want to highlight here. You just want to skip that step and make sure you really shadow in those areas. And then the very last thing I like to highlight is my Cupid's bow. So the next brush I'm taking is this new one that I actually just got from Morphe. It is the M335, and it's just like this mini round kabuki brush. Okay, so the contour shade that I have been really loving is the one in the middle here called Shadow. As of right now, this shade Mink is a bit too dark for me. Sometimes I will kind of mix in a little bit of it if I want a stronger contour, but I never fully contour with this one. And then this one over here is called Fawn, and it is a great cream bronzer. However, I am just not fair enough for it yet. I still have a bit of a tan left from summer, like I said, and this shade is one of those really ashy gray contour shades, which is amazing for fair skin, don't get me wrong. It's just not suitable on my skin tone right now. So that's why I love Shadow right now, because it is just like the perfect, not too warm, not too cool bronzer. So I'm just gonna pick up some of that with my Morphe brush and just start carving out my cheekbones. Another thing that a lot of people ask me is how to find like where you're supposed to contour. So when you're carving out your cheekbones, you first want to kind of find where your cheekbone is, and you can feel that socket of where it ends. But if you can't find where to put your contour for some reason, it's typically from the top of your ear to the middle of your ear, somewhere in this area, and the line connects to the corner of your mouth. So if you were to draw an imaginary line from here to here, that's where your contour should be. But we're not going to take it in all the way to the corner of our mouth. So I just like to go in here and kind of create my initial line. As you guys can see, this is still a very cool tone bronzer, so it works really well. You're definitely not gonna look orange with these bronzers whatsoever, which is great for fair skin. Then I like to pick a little bit more product up, and I like to just start bringing this contour up. When I start blending it out, I really don't want to disrupt this sharp line at all. It will get disrupted a little bit, and that's where the baking comes in. Okay, it looks so harsh on camera. Like literally looking in the mirror and it looks like one thing, and then I look in the viewfinder and I'm like, whoa. Grabbing a little bit more of that shade, and I'm just putting a little bit on the sides of my forehead here. This is going to make the appearance of a smaller forehead. If you have a small forehead and you want to make it look longer, bring this highlight up higher and don't contour up here by your hairline. Next place I'm going to go is on the sides of my nose a little bit. So doing this to your nose, obviously it's very harsh right now. This is all going to be blended out here in a minute. But doing this to your nose, this is going to take away any crookedness. I personally suffer from a crooked nose, so I love nose contouring. And I like to make that middle highlighted section right there very small so that it looks like I have a teeny tiny slender nose. And then also to make your bottom lip look a bit poutier, you can put a shadow contour under it, just a tiny bit. And then what I'm going to do is go underneath my jawline. So if you want to hide your double chin or just make it look like you have a more structured jaw, I love doing this. Placing this under here, I'm going right up here to the sides of my jaw. So I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm first going to work on blending out all of my highlighted shades.
My beauty blender felt like super dry even though I just wet it. But it was because I still had a bunch of translucent powder on it. It's been a long couple days, guys. It really has.
And then what I like to do for my contour is first blend it out with a stippling brush like this. So before I set my under eyes, I'm going to do cream highlighting. To be perfectly honest, the cream highlight in this palette is not my favorite. I still think it gives a really pretty effect, but when I first started using it, I was just really unsure with the consistency, and it's not the most pigmented cream highlight in the world, but I think it's meant to be like that on purpose. I think Anastasia was kind of going for a natural dewy highlight, and that's exactly what this is. So I am just going to lightly pop this on my cheeks. So at this point, we're all done with our creams and liquids, and we're going to move on to powders. I told you guys earlier that I was going to teach you the baking technique. If you've never heard about that, it is actually a technique that we stole from the drag queens of the world, which is crazy. I never knew that. I never knew that. And when I found that out, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So all you're going to do for this, I already took the lid off. Smart, Kayla. But I'm using the e.l.f. translucent setting powder or whatever it is, and we are going to use our wet sponge to place this powder on, and I'm just going to dip it in that powder so that it's like this, and I'm just going to press it underneath my eyes. So as you can see, I am just loading this powder on right now. This is a translucent powder, so it's a little bit harder. Like when you're seeing girls use yellow powder, it obviously has color, so it like sticks to the face better, you can see it better and all of that. This is a little bit harder because it's translucent. So I just like to bake underneath my eyes, and then I also like to bake under my contour. Sometimes I will just use concealer under there to clean it up. No matter what products I used and what powders I used, I just always had creasing under my eyes. So when I found this technique, I was so excited. It's helped me out a ton. I don't get any creasing under my eyes when I bake, like, ever. Okay, so as you can see, that line is going to super straighten up my contour. So I know this looks super crazy right now, but we're actually gonna let this bake on our skin. What this is going to do is make sure that all of that concealer is locked into place. Some people like to fill in their eyebrows while they wait to bake. I like to just wait a couple minutes and then sweep it off, just because I have dry skin, and if I let it sit too long, it can make my under eyes very dry. So I just like to wait 2 or 3 minutes, then sweep it all off. But if you have very oily skin, I would leave it on for longer. Okay, I'm back. I know, I look different, don't I? So my camera died, and while I was waiting for it to charge, I did the rest of my makeup. So now I'm just going to do the powder highlight and contouring. So as you can see, this is still baking on here. I'm now going to wipe it away. You guys know that I love the NYC Sunny bronzer. It's my favorite bronzer ever, but just to switch it up for you guys, because I always use that, I am going to be using my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil little sample. I have been using this powder a little bit more recently. This one goes a little bit better with the cream that I've been using in shadow. I'm not going to go in with a super defined brush and like fully contour. You totally can. It's just preference on how dark you want your contour. I like to go in with a fluffy brush like this and just kind of lightly go over the areas. So today I'm going to use NYX Illuminator in Ritualistic, and I'm going to be using this Sonia Kashuk fan brush. Okay guys, so that's it for my contouring and highlighting video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys have any questions at all about highlighting and contouring, make sure to leave them down in the comment section and I will be sure to reply to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!